Hello and welcome to Box This Week 63. It is, of course, myself and Paolo for Hook Casuals. Back again. We are trying to get weekly content out. We are both not in the UK, so this is a premiere. If you are chatting in, if you're commenting and stuff, we appreciate that. We potentially one of us will be here to respond, but no promises. So that does mean this week, any massive breaking news that's happened in the last week or so, we don't know about. But we're covering the main stuff, I hope. Assuming that everything has, well, you never know.
Connor, yeah. the other look might be better than this. Sorry, I'm sorry. Can we change it, or is it just too?
Yeah,
we're having some. It's me. Connor's gonna say you fucking prick. Sorry, yeah, God.
No, we can do this.
No, we have. If you are busy enough to comment on our things saying you didn't know about this, you didn't know about that. This was recorded on the. Can we say the date?
26th, yeah, we can say the
26th of August at 8 p.m. Pre-recorded to Ross. So yeah, if we didn't know, we didn't know. Yeah,
we're just praying that neither Canelo or Crawford pulls out because we've got a lot of stuff scheduled for those two. So as long as that fight goes ahead, we're fine. And if I've just jinxed it, touch wood, I haven't. But geez, okay. Anyway, let's roll the intro and then we'll get into Box This Week 63. Okay, so like I say, we don't really have a weekly roundup, not much to round up. So what we're going to go straight into is I guess it's the biggest fight of the night. So Eduardo Núñez versus, I don't want to say his name wrong, Christopher Díaz-Vélez for the IBF World Super Featherweight title. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. Christopher Díaz-Vélez, not someone that I'm massively familiar with. I've had a little look through his record. We're not liars here. We're not going to try and tell you that we know. We don't.
I know everything. Okay, go on.
So, a little bit of context. He has fought Shakur in the past, so that's probably, if you do know him, it's likely to be from there. Shakur obviously beat him, and he got knocked out by Emmanuel Navarrete. He's fought Isaac Dogbo, and he lost that as well. He is he's going to lose to Núñez. I can't. There's not much more to say about it. Really, all I care about is after this fight, I want to see Eduardo Núñez versus Anthony Apache Kakachi. Because that is a fighter we know about. And that's a great fight. Eduardo Núñez hits hard. Kakachi's at a new weight now. Kakachi might hit harder, but the thing with Kakachi is obviously he had the back issue and then he got pulled out against his fight against Raymond Ford. He's 38. Should he be waiting for a fight or should he just get straight back in and just keep moving?
Momentum would suggest, yes, you need to fight. But to be honest with you, he's in a really good position because Kakachi's in a weird place here where the biggest fight on paper, i.e. the biggest name or the most technical boxer to pick out of or the best one, doesn't necessarily make it the best fight for Kakachi if that fighter can't sell shit.
Yeah.
And he's at an age where it's money. The money is the currency, and he needs a lot of it. Do you get it? So, look, Kakachi's going to take the fights that make sense to his career, and I understand why. Because, he speaks very much time and time again about the family that he's got and the people that he's supporting. He is 38, and let's be honest with you, Kakachi's been around for a long time, but the break that he's had at world level has come really late in his career. At a time where a lot of people may have given up and retired or just given up the idea of chasing world titles, right?
Yeah.
So he's now making more money than he's ever made previous on this run. You know, you've got to be smart. So that's why I say the fight's got to make sense money wise, and I think he's not been fighting because of that reason. We only look at obviously Eubank Senior. Eubank Junior is the perfect example. He could have fought for an IBF super middleweight title, I think it was at the time, or he could have fought for an IBF. Was it IBF that he could have fought for?
Depends when you say what
all right, so Eubank could have fought for a world title or super middleweight, and it wasn't against Canelo at the time. It was against somebody else. So my point being is this is when they were negotiating the Ben fight. Ben makes more money. Titles don't make you money. So he's got to be looking at the biggest fights. Kakachi's going to want to get on the Riyadh cards. That's for certain. You know, or the biggest named cards. You know, a Terence Crawford and Canelo card. You wouldn't mind getting on the bottom of that, or below that. But he's going to definitely be looking at the cards. And I'm surprised he's not scheduled to fight because I think he could do a homecoming fight as well. Another one.
Fight in Belfast would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it'd make a lot of sense. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I should say I got it wrong at the start. He is only 36. He's still old, and you're still the point about his success coming late in his career is true. I can't imagine.
We're calling Eubank Jr. an old man, and he's 33.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
Long, yeah.
Huh?
They've been around for so long. That's the reason that there is. You know, we get fighters that turn over from amateur at 30.
Terence Crawford's older than Kakachi.
Yeah.
Do you see?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we just overplay it with Kakachi. But
we got this thing about an age thing in sport, innit? Do you know, like anyone that's 28 plus is old.
Yeah.
28 plus in any sport is old. Like it's mental, innit? It's mental. But the moment someone calls you, the moment someone calls me old, 30, I should be offended. But no, but we're gonna call them old. Do you get it? Or like it's mad. Like your prime's got to be 23 now. Like people are saying that Dubois done. Dubois like 24. Atauma's 20, 25, 26. Sorry, Dubois 26. Yeah, Joshua turned pro when he was 27 or 26, 27.
Yeah,
Dubois already become a world heavyweight champion. Like,
it's also relative to the person. Look at Beterbiev.
Yeah, relative to my point in being Kakachi is 36 and he's a world champion. And this is when people are saying it's father time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but he's doing his best work. This is the best we've seen Kakachi ever. There's no decline right now. I mean, what he did to Joe Cordina was really unexpected. People forget Cordina was meant. There was talks were advanced for Cordina to fight Shakur Stevenson, which looking back doesn't go very well for him. But they were there, and Cordina got, for various reasons, and I'm sure there are behind the scenes reasons, but Cordina got battered. And Kakachi did the same thing to Lee Wood, who was well established as being, well, he was a bit of a boogeyman for anyone. So, yeah, I'm really interested by the Núñez-Kakachi fight. I think that's a really good fight. I prefer that to the one of Kakachi versus Ford. The only thing is I wanted to see that fight because it was better than Ford Nova. But
Kakachi and Ford was definitely a better fight than obviously what Ford had, in my opinion. At a different time, the Ford and Kakachi fight would have been great, I think, because Ford isn't a world champion. That kind of takes a bit of buzz out of it for me. But it's a good fight for Kakachi, though. It's a good fight for Kakachi.
Definitely. Well, we'd see how Kakachi matches up to someone as technical. Whereas Núñez is an all-out war. That's why I want to see it. Núñez comes to knock you out. If you don't know, Núñez is 28-1, and he's got 27 wins by knockout. He doesn't. his plan is to knock you out. There's nothing else. I wouldn't be surprised if on the weekend he knocks out Díaz-Vélez. His only loss was in 2018 against someone relatively unknown, and he lost the rounds over 6. So he's a scary fighter. I think honestly, just so that you know what I'm kind of dealing with right now, and we're only 2 weeks out from this fight week and a half out. Currently, there is no undercard, so not really sure what's going on there. It's a Matchroom and Box Stars event, but I think Box Stars represent Díaz-Vélez, so I don't think they'll be putting much in. Weird.
I'm
On
assuming when
night,
this episode comes out, there should be an undercard. You'd like to hope, and if there is, let us know your thoughts in the comments of the undercard, and if it's shit or not. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have a lot of Mexican fighters on it, but just weird. So basically, all I'm trying to say is there's a co-main event that's really good or anything. We don't know. What is a good event is the Matchroom card in. I don't know where any of these places are. Hold on. 1 second. In Tyne and Wear, which I'm going to choose Newcastle, but who knows?
Tyne and Wear.
Newcastle. Yeah, it's cool. Right. Well, we've got Pat McCormack fighting Miguel Parro, which is McCormack's. It's a big step up. It's his big step up.
Yes.
This is. I don't know if it's technically a next-gen card, but it definitely feels like it. It's the Matchroom prospects getting a run out. You got Mark Dickinson. Sandy Ryan's back. She's obviously not a prospect, but she's back. Cameron Wong needs an opponent announced. I think he had one. They've actually pulled out of injury again. Tia May Ayton makes her second pro appearance, and so does Leo Atang, along with Adam Maka and Bradley Casey making his debut.
Leo Atang, exciting prospect.
Yes, Leo Atang is the one Tia May Ayton looks brilliant. She's been sparring with Sky Nicholson. There's from everything I hear about her, she'll do extremely well. Leo Atang is the interesting one because let's be honest, whether or not we should say this, we should even think about this. We have Moses Itauma at 20, who 2.5 years into his pro career is knocking on world champion doors. Leo Atang, who has just as successful amateur career and had a really good debut. Now, I'm not saying I want Leo Atang versus Itauma anytime soon.
But we do.
But British heavyweight boxing might be about to go really. I mean, it already is really good. It's basically the only division that we've got going for us right now. I'm excited. Leo Atang, I'm really excited for. If you don't know, I think he's actually a more successful amateur than Moses Itauma. But Moses turned over to pro at 18 and didn't really. His eyes were always on being a pro. And there was no point in him staying amateur. We spoke about this a while at the World Championships. He had 4 fights. He won all 4 by knockout in the first round. Like Moses Itauma he's always been a pro fight. Like the way he fights is pro. Leo Atang 1-0, 1 knockout. He's not fighting anyone. He's fighting Christian Uwaka, who's 1-5-1. So it's going to be a very similar performance, but it's exciting. I'm really excited. It feels like we're getting some good prospects in Britain right now, which is really we need, because if we look at the world champions we've got right now, we have one male, and that's Nick Bull.
It's poor, really, isn't it? But on the other hand, females are killing it for us.
Yeah,
and I think we should always mention it because I think a lot of places are very quick. Do you want? Can I say something? Might be controversial, but might not be. Boxing for me is probably one of, if not the leading women's sport in the world.
I think it is.
Yeah, and do you know what? Can I say something now? you want to talk about the contribution that a lot of pay, depending on the sport you're talking to, comes down to contribution in sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very careful of what I say here because there's a lot of sensitive people online. But boxing is one sport where I can say, yeah, pay them the same or similar or close to whatever that purse is, pay her that purse because they deserve it.
Yeah. Well, boxing's set up that the amount of tickets you sell, the amount of people the amount of eyes you bring is pretty directly related to what you'll earn. And it is I think it's the only sport that runs like that, which is why boxing is one of the leading sports for women. Because like we've seen it with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, who have made about, I think, isn't it? Like, it must be 15 to 20 million dollars in their last two fights, because that's the amount of money they bring to the sport. We won't talk about other sports, but we know the controversy that's going around right now. Boxing does it very well, and female British boxers especially.
So big up to the female British boxers, but more importantly, the world champions as well. Yeah, and those that are on the journey of becoming world champions, big up to them. But British women are carrying the flag right now for us.
Massively.
And the men can take note. They can take
they
note.
really can. And I am nervous, I'll be honest, because are we going to get another male world champion before Nick Bull gets in there with Naoya Inoue? Because if Nick Bull's in there with Naoya Inoue, we might be down to 0.
The problem is, you put Itauma in with Usyk now and Nick Bull with Inoue, there are 2 big chances gone out potentially early doors.
Yeah.
Or you could get 1. I don't think it'd be 2 and 2. Potentially could be 1 and 1. 1 win, 1 loss. Maybe. Or it could be 2 losses. 2 losses.
Yeah. And then we're waiting on Hamza Shiraz. Is probably the next closest thing. But he's got to fight Canelo. And Canelo's obviously tied up with Crawford, which we'll be covering next week. Probably the best fight on here is actually going to be Mark Dickinson versus Troy Williamson. Williamson, obviously a veteran of the sport. We've seen him fight so many times over the last year, really. I mean, he's 24-1. He's got 14 knockouts. He's lost his last 3. He's kind of, I'm sure from his point of view, his career's not gone the way he would like recently.
Is that Mark Dickinson?
Troy Williamson. Troy Williamson. Yeah, since 2022, he lost to Josh Kelly. He lost to Quiva Aguiaco, lost to Ishmael P. Davis, and lost to Jahi Tucker. He's not quite got above that.
I feel like he's. I'll be honest. If you're getting in there with Mark Dickinson, this is saying to me what kind of fight this is, and he's coming across. Like, I don't know. There's a time where certain promoters will push or throw your fighters into shit fights to enhance or boost another fighter's profile.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I feel like this is that fight. I mean, we talk about some of the advantages in here, in the fact that reach and height is a joke. 6'2" to 5'10". Troy Williams, 6'2" to 5'10". Yeah. Reach wise, you're looking at the reach is nuts. Just in general, just he's got a longer reach than him. Height, he's just dominating him on. And Mark Dickinson is probably a fighter being pushed to do great things, or the next gen, if you want to call it. So I think we all really know how this fight's going to go without sounding, but I'll just call a spade a spade.
Yeah. I mean, Dickinson's only lost once, and that was in the I can't remember the name of the tournament, the one in Japan, where they had 8 fighters, It was a really good event, and Mark Dickinson lost to somebody who I think at the time had already won 15 fights and 13 of them by knockout. And he at the time was 6-0 for a bit of context. So he was probably fighting way above the level we should have been at. This fight, it's good for Dickinson. It's like when Conor Benn, it's not the same level, but it's like when Conor Benn got put in there with Samuel Vargas. Everyone knew Conor Benn was going to win that fight, but because he did it in the way he did, people got on the hype train, and then look where he's ended up. This is an early stages of that. Sandy Ryan versus Jade Grierson's probably on paper is probably the best fight. Grierson's not lost. She has an opportunity to throw herself at world level, a relatively unknown fighter, to then beat Sandy Ryan, who has lost her last two.
A relatively known fighter who's been in some big fights.
In some massive fights, especially recently with the Michaela Mayer and all the controversy around that. So, yeah, I'm excited for this. I'll be honest with you, I'm most excited to see Leo Atang and TMA Ayton. Those are two of the best prospects I think Britain are going to produce.
Too soon in together, or do you think it's the right time?
What as in because they're 18 or because
just because of where they're destined to go? Do you think it's too soon putting them in together?
What, Itauma and Atang?
No, you talk about Itauma and Atang.
Right now, yeah. Atang needs to. I mean, we don't know exactly how powerful he is, and to stop Moses Itauma from being so good, you need. One of the things you do need is power. There's a point in pro boxing where you can be as skillful as you like, but if you're not hurting somebody, what you're doing won't matter. One of the greatest defensive boxer of all time, arguably, is Mayweather. But Mayweather hurt people.
And you said two of Britain's best prospects in Itauma and Atang is who you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. On this card, I mean TMA Ayton as well. That's on this card. There's TMA Ayton and Leo Atang. So those are two of Britain's best prospects. And then at heavyweight, Atang versus Itauma. Give it a few years. But
just settle. Just wait.
Yeah. Atang's first opponent had been knocked out 3 times already. I mean, it doesn't take away from the fact Atang did it and did it in 2.5 minutes. And the way he did it as well. It was pretty brutal. But let's see. Because we also as fans, especially British fans, because we have less fighters to really watch and get excited about, we do jump the gun a lot. I mean, the amount of people that want Itauma to fight Usyk already, the amount of people that think Giorgio Visioli is
Connor's one of them.
What, for Usyk Itauma or for
all of them? Itauma v all of them.
I don't want Usyk. No, not yet. I think it'd be my only point with that is I don't think there's another competitive fight for Usyk out there. I think Itauma gives him the most problems, but I still don't think Itauma wins.
I think you'll never see Usyk and Itauma because Itauma doesn't make him the money. It's really that simple.
I think he does make the money.
I think he doesn't. I don't think until you've made that money, you can justify saying you're going to make that money, or close. It's a risk because Itauma made $1 million, $2 million off his fight with Dillian Whyte. Has Itauma ever headlined a stadium?
No. Well, no, but he's just headlined a pay-per-view.
No, I don't want to hear it. You Saudi, don't you dare.
He just headlined a pay-per-view.
Yeah, Saudi. And
do you not think people would pay to see?
Was that busy? That one, Connor?
I'm not saying the arena was busy. The arena doesn't get 8,000 people. Pat McCormack's about to do that. I'm saying Itauma did the pay-per-view. We'll get the pay-per-view numbers at some point, but you can't tell me that Usyk Itauma doesn't sell. Itauma, a 20-year-old
Not right now.
fighting the 38-year-old, that sells as well as
If you're telling me,
Usyk Dubois.
if you're telling me, okay, so let me ask you this question. Right now, would you say that Itauma commercially brings in more than Anthony Joshua?
Of course not. I'm saying he does the same as Daniel Dubois.
Daniel Dubois brings in more, or is the same? So
he's the same.
Oh, we need to see numbers because I disagree with that. I just think until you've headlined Wembley Stadium, which Dubois has done twice, to be fair to him,
one of those was against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is still arguably the biggest name in the sport. Maybe with Canelo.
Actually, he's been at Wembley more than twice, surely. I'm sure Dubois has been at Wembley more than twice. But he's just not headline. Maybe he's fought there.
Yeah, he fought Kevin Lorena on the Fury. Oh, no, that was at Tottenham.
Maybe it is twice. But I don't think Itauma at this stage would sell out Wembley.
I think if you said to people, there's a 20-year-old going to fight Alexander Usyk, the 20-year-old could win. You're going to watch it. People will watch it. That could do more pay-per-view.
So here it is.
That would do more pay-per-view.
100%. But I'd take Usyk out of that conversation. Does Itauma do Wembley?
If he's fighting for a world title, yeah. I think so.
Okay, take Usyk out of that conversation. Take Usyk out of the conversation. Can Joshua headline Wembley? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he can. Yeah. Take Usyk out of the conversation. Can Itauma headline Wembley?
No, but we're not talking about like.
So my point being is commercially he's not as big right now, and on ability wise he's better than most. If not, we're talking. He's maybe one fight away from just getting.
Moses Itauma makes more money for Usyk than Parker, Kabyle, Dubois. The only two fighters that would do more is Fury 3, because that will always do a lot of money, and Anthony Joshua, because that will always do a lot of money. Other than that, it's Itauma. People will pay to see the 20-year-old.
Until that happens.
You're not the thing. The problem is, right, we're sat here and we're going, we want to see Usyk Joseph Parker, right? That's the fight everyone wants to see at the moment. But ultimately, if I ask you who wins Alexander Usyk versus Joseph Parker, you say
that's a good fight.
You say that's a good fight, but you know who we know that Usyk would win.
That's a good fight.
It's heavyweight boxing, nothing's a given, but like with
nothing
Usyk,
is a given. And do you know what? Do you know why the Parker fight is interesting? Because Parker is different to a lot of the heavyweights, which is why I'd be interested to see how
he's more like a cruiserweight. And Usyk was even more dominant as a cruiserweight. He fights more like a cruiserweight. I agree that I am interested to see the fight, but Usyk will win it. And I think if you did a poll, 99%
naturally everyone's. I think though that Joseph Parker's got a chance, a massive chance.
Of course, he's got a chance. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. Joseph Parker's a world level fighter. On his day, he could beat anyone except Usyk. Because Usyk's Usyk. Usyk, for me, Usyk is Joseph Parker, but better in every attribute. He's faster, he's stronger, he punches harder, his footwork's better, his IQ's better. Parker is elite level, but we're talking a different beast. Moses Itauma would be the fight that sells the most pay-per-view behind AJ and Fury. Anyway, Leo Atang will get there eventually, I think. But we don't know. We got to hold our horses a little bit on him, because otherwise we'll do what we're doing now, where we're talking about a 20-year-old fighting Usyk, who we still need to see this 20-year-old get some more rounds in. But
100%.
But yeah, anyway, it's a great card. We won't do predictions. It's a next gen card. So everyone on the left-hand side of my screen should win their fights. So that's McCormack, Dickinson, Ryan, Vuong, Ayton, Atang, Casey, and Maka. They should all win their fights, but I'm sure there'll be an upset somewhere. And maybe the main event, actually, McCormack might be too early for him. On a more interesting note, something I wanted to bring up, just because we were talking about the next-gen card, in boxing, who's got the strongest stable of fighters? Because over the years, I think Matchroom became quite dominant. Recently, Queensbury have really upped their game, especially with the heavyweights, to the point where they've got, I think, 8 of the top 10 heavyweights in the world.
I think it's Queensbury at the moment.
You think it's Queensbury? You might be right. I mean,
I think we've just seen a Queensbury v Matchroom card where Queensbury absolutely shat on Matchroom. So that answers that question.
hold on. Golden Boy, top rank. We're not.
Who have Golden Boys got?
Golden Boy got Virgil Ortiz.
Okay.
They've got Gilberto Ramirez, Oscar Collazo, Gabriel Fundora, my bad.
Fundora get put in a spliff by quite a few fighters.
Not Gabriela Fundora. Gabriela Fundora puts people in a spliff. Sebastian Fundora, the big brother.
Sebastian Fundora, yeah. Who's he signed to?
He'll be PBC, I guess.
Okay.
PBC.
Okay. I'm gonna say Queensbury right now, but it's hard to say it when we only have Nick Ball as a world champion.
True.
So I'm also gonna lean towards the promotion with the most world champions.
Yeah, okay. Don't mind that.
Which I think is fair because I think being world champion is the highest you can get. If you are not the world champion, you do not have the best fighters overall. But yeah,
so I'm just having a look at PBC. Have got technically still got Canelo, got Benavidez. I'm not even. We won't talk about Wilder because I know your reaction won't be happy.
Fantastic fighter, pound for pound.
We got David Morrell. We got Caleb Plant.
Pound for pound, 200. Wilder.
Jamal Charlo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fighters. Erizlandi Lara, but you're basically retired. Carlos Adames, Brian Mendoza,
Jamel
Charlo.
You say Jamel Charlo, by the way, that is also another fighter, provided on how the again. I've got to be careful if we can mention this. Well, we can because I saw it in the news today. But that Charlo, not the other one, but that one, the one that fought Canelo.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's back down to his normal weight, which is where Terence was holding a belt. Terence, after the Canelo fight, Terence will be asked what he wants to do. If Terence chooses not to defend that title, it will then be stripped off of him and given to Charlo.
Okay.
So,
I'm sure I like that, but all
right. I saw that today, so yeah.
Yeah, someone that's not been fighting that much shouldn't be getting a title shot. An absolute final thing, because it is worth mentioning, is Andy Ruiz will likely be in talks for a fight when this comes out. He's been back in training, apparently training hard, and hopefully, well, a thinner Andy Ruiz is a very, very dangerous fighter. The Andy Ruiz that we've seen the last few times that he's been out, really since he beat Joshua in New York, has been pretty rubbish. But he's only, how old is he? He's only 35. If he gets going now, he could still get a run together, push for a title, I think. He's one I'd like to see a town room with. I think that'd be an interesting fight. But anyway, we don't know what's going on with him. But it's just worth noting, we've seen some little things about him. We've seen some clips. Stuff's coming out. Maybe. But we're going Queensbury, the best promotion. I think that's fair. I mean, Fury, Dubois, Parker, Cabile, Wardley, Itauma, Zhang, Chisora, Okoli, Hergovich, Yoka, Joe Joyce, and Nelson Heiser. Oh, and Solomon Dakers. All, and that's just their heavyweights. Never mind everyone else. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I gotta say, Queens really need to update their photos though, because currently Liam Cameron's got the most menacing one. Everyone else kind of looks. Actually, Anthony Yarde's quite good. Anyway, right. That's just little things. And Tyson Fury shouldn't be there because he's not going to fight again. That's boxing this week. 63. That's the one. That is everything. Make sure to comment about. Let's go for who's got the best stable in boxing. I'm sure people might disagree. Let's go for predictions for Núñez Kakachi. Eduardo Núñez versus Anthony Kakachi, because that fight I think will happen. And finally, we're starting to build up for Canelo Crawford fight week. So
who wins?
Predictions.
Who is winning, Canelo or Crawford? Because I got Crawford winning, baby.
Oh my god. Okay.
I have. I got Crawford winning, man. I've seen him.
Don't know.
I've seen way too much MMA the past few weeks to see his strength. So I'm going off that. Other than that, I don't know. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments.
Yeah. Right. Outro time. As you can see, it's been on screen the whole time. £50 Amazon gift card giveaway. Just all you have to do, subscribe, comment that you've subscribed to enter. Winner will be announced at 500 subscribers alive, doing a sort of wheel spin kind of thing. Pretty basic stuff. I think we're at 173, maybe a little higher, but we are building quite relatively quick now, actually. So it will be soon. So make sure you get in and you'll be put in the list. Other than that, make sure to comment, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And what else can you do? We're on Spotify as well. It's always good to mention. So if you don't want to watch the video, or you want to watch us or listen whilst driving or whatever, Spotify is there. So yeah, Paolo, anything else? I can't think of.
That is it. Good night. That is all, folks. Looney Tunes style. We are out.
We should get a Looney Tunes outro. That'd be cool. Anyway, right.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Okay, bye-bye.